So we're going to do port scanning today, and I'm going to use SuperScan. I've got a shortcut on my desktop here. Network applications and network services running on a computer, they have to have a mechanism to know what traffic, what packets to respond to, and so they do this by monitoring the destination TCP or UDP port number in the packet. For example, if you have the domain name system running on a computer and a packet arrives addressed to that computer and the destination UDP port is 53, that tells the operating system in the TCP IP stack, and it basically tells it what to do with the packet, and let's pass it on up to the DNS service at the application layer to respond to that packet. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically ask a computer which of its TCP ports or UDP ports are listening, or actually have software that is monitoring for activity on those ports. And to do this, we're going to use SuperScan. So the last thing I did was a ping only, so I'm going to select one of these other radio buttons here, and let's do all ports from port 1 to, let's just go 200 here. You can do all 65,535. That will take a while, and I'm going to pick out a single machine here, and this is what was in here from before. If you recall here, we're on the 192.168.157 network. I'm going to probe or scan, do a port scan on just one machine, the 157.1 machine, just to show you how this works. So I'm going to click on Start here. So again, what we're doing here is we're scanning ports 1 through 200 on this particular computer, a single computer, to see how many ports are listening. And this is what SuperScan has determined here. It's found 4 open ports on this machine. By the way, this 157.1 machine is it's a computer with multiple network interface cards, and I've got it set up functioning as a router, and it's running Windows Server 2000. And it's been doing this for several years now, very happily. So SuperScan has discovered 4 open ports, and I'll show you in a moment how it has decided these are open and the other 196 ports are not open. And by open, I mean that there's some software, service, or application on this machine that's listening for traffic that's destined for these port numbers. So we've got 4 here. The 135, and this is TCP port 135 and 139, are associated with Windows networking. You can also tell from here that for some reason the web service has been installed on this computer, which was, if memory serves me well, pretty well, it was a standard thing on Windows 2000 server. You got the web service whether you wanted it or not. If you hit the little plus sign here, you will find out that this is running server IIS, Microsoft IIS 5.0, and that does tell me that it's running Windows Server 2000, because IIS 5.0, the Internet Information Service 5.0, is the version that runs that came with Windows Server 2000. By the way, this is called a banner, and I'll show you about this in a few moments. But from an attacker standpoint, this has given, if I was an attacker, this has given me information. and I just told you what it was. I know two things now. This is in fact a Windows machine. It's also a Windows server, and it's Server 2000. And it also is running IIS version 5, and there may be something in here I can exploit. So I've learned a lot from my little scan here, because now I know that port 80 is open and listening, and what version of the web server software is actually running on it. Let me expand this. Port 25, TCP port 25, is the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol port, the port it typically runs on. And again, we're given the version number.